Good afternoon, ladies, and this afternoon we're going to discuss our observations and insight about the said activity that was happened last Tuesday together with the Bicol University students and DNSC students. Before anything else, let us proceed to the first question, and here are the provided guide questions. So first, are there phonological differences, pronunciation, intonation, stress, and accent that you have observed when you were discussing with Bicol University students? If there are some, could you please share and kindly please unmute yourselves? Go, Miss
Okay, so
Sabay.
good day everyone. So regarding with the activity that happened last time, which is the collaboration together with Bicol University, the differences or the phonological differences that I have observed in terms of pronunciation is that when they pronounce a word, they emphasize its intonation and stress. And when it comes to their accent, I can say that there are real differences because their way of speaking is more fluent compared to us.
Oh, that was so detailed answer. So, anyone else? Okay, go, Miss Tabal.
Okay, good day, everyone. The things that I also want to share during our collaboration with Bicol University is that there are really phonological differences in the discussion because I noticed that they consider the proper attributes of pronunciation, intonation, and stresses in a certain word or phrase, and as well as their accent is far different from us. That's why I observe most of us during the activities have difficulties of understanding some words they utter because they are so fluent in their own accent. Thank
Yeah,
you.
that is right. Anyone to add?
Yes, I also want to share my idea and would like to add to the ideas that being shared with Ms. Sabay and Ms. Saba. So I would like to emphasize regarding how the Bicol University students pronounce and the stress and how they pronounce the words in their own way. So the stress in every word they pronounce is the last syllable of the word. And also I observed that while the activity is happening, I observed that even when they speak Tagalog, we can still see and observe. We can still observe that the Bicolana or Bicolana accent is still evident and how they speak the language. Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
I agree with your idea because personally I have observed that even though we're speaking the same language, we're using English language and communicating each other, but there are still differences. Let's just say an accent. Their accent is far different from ours because our accent is kind of Bisaya ilhanta nga we're Bisaya that's trying to speak in English. And there are also we can also observe that their Bicolana accent would get in there when they speak in English, and that is one of the something that I have observed during those discussion. And so, moving on, let's proceed to the second question. So, have you heard words in their own language used during your conversation? How are they formed? Anyone? Have you ever observed any unfamiliar words? Kindly please unmute yourselves.
Yes, no? So, regarding to the question, during the discussion with the Bicol University students, I have observed that most of them uses their own language to converse with us. For example, the word compil. In their own language, compil means it's a process that the soon to be bride and soon to be groom needs to accomplish before the marriage. And the word compil is equivalent to kumpisal in our own language. That's what I observe. And that's all.
Okay, that was informative. So, anyways, anyone that can add some, please unmute yourself.
Oh yes, so I also would like to share the knowledge that I gathered during the discussion. So during the activity that we had with the Bicol University students, we shared a lot of different culture and tradition. We shared our tradition, they shared theirs. So I learned different terminologies from them, and one of them is the Santibuar, which means for us is the old way of healing or the clock buffers. Also, another word is the sigbang, which is for us is yung nausog, and that was the informative, and I will cherish that forever. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that is right. I also observed those words, and I was at first, when I first heard that words, I wondered what does that mean, and it turns out that there were also words that same meaning with ours, but different spells and different formation. Okay, so anyone, if there's not, okay, go Ulay.
In addition to what Crystal said, Santiguar is the Bicolano term or word that means pagtatawas in Tagalog.
Okay, that is also great. Let's proceed to the third question, which is what is the significance of studying linguistics in intercultural communication? Anyone, please unmute yourself if you have something to say.
So, good day, everyone. For me, it is significant to study linguistics in intercultural communication because I know so that we learn not only the language but also the cultural diversity of an individual, like the activity that we conduct. We even learn to the other term or what kind of difference their culture has.
Okay. Anyone?
Okay, it's me again. In addition to what Miss Ira said, during the significance of studying linguistic in intercultural communication is very significant, especially during the our exchange activity with the Bicol University students. We are able to communicate with them and share our insights with them, even though we have a different cultural background because we already had a background study in linguistic and intercultural communication. That's it.
Okay, anyone? So I have personally my
I have
observation.
something to
Okay, so go first, Miss Sabay.
Okay, I have something to add. I can say that the idea of Ms. Valdez and Tabarao were so great, but also I can definitely say that learning linguistic is very significant, especially in intercultural communication, for the reason that we can learn or understand the people that we are talking to or interacting with, and also, of course, to enhance global communication in the current globalized world.
Mm-hmm. That was useful for me personally because I also have to share you something. In terms of studying linguistic and intercultural communication, it is really significant, especially for us, because it doesn't. We shouldn't limit ourselves. Na we've got to be interested only in our in our community where we were raised in. We should have also explore the other places and the other communities so that we could enable ourselves to understand why were they living that way and why are they have something that is different from what we were used to. So moving on, let's proceed to the last question. What is the significance of engaging yourself in intercultural communication in your training as a future English teacher? Anyone? Go, Miss Valdez.
It is significant in a way where we can easily understand, like what Miss Sabay said earlier, na kanang in every place, cultures are different. Yes, we may living in the same country, but the cities or even the provinces that we are residing have different culture in which that can help us more to understand how to communicate properly and what kind of terms in a language should we especially we are future educators, we are more prominent in working in a place we didn't grow up with like that.
Yes, that was informative also. So anyone to add?
I also want to answer that question. For me kasi, as a future English teacher and educator, it's very essential to engage with this intercultural communication activities because it will help us to become a more diverse culturally, to absorb the norms, customs, and beliefs of other perspectives. And lastly, to understand the color of their culture. And being a part of this activity is such a pleasure. Yes, I could say that. Because as a teacher, you can captivate this knowledge and employ this to your future students that will not just pass the learning, but also to still practice sharing. That would be all.
Yeah, I totally agree with your idea, Miss Tabal. So anyone to add?
So also for me, it is significant that we engage in intercultural communication in order to learn and understand more about cultural diversity and for us to realize that cultural diversity is indeed beautiful.
Okay, that was great. And I have something to share also. I have my insights and observation because it is really important for us as an aspirant English teacher. We really have to understand how beautiful it is to study and to be interested in an intercultural community. It is significant for us to dig deeper what is intercultural communication as well. And also, to end this, I guess that was all. And to end this, I would like to highlight what Miss Tabal said, that let will not just pass learning, but also still practice sharing. I could really say that it is relevant to us because as an aspiring teachers, English teachers, it is essential for us to gain a lot of exploration, a lot of knowledge, a lot of wisdom, so that in the future, as well as we're practicing it, and as well as we're sharing it and we're passing it to our future students. I hope we can really get that goal. And can I say that let's end our roundtable discussion in here, and thank you for your participation, everyone.
That was wonderful.
Yeah, that was wonderful. So, pwede na kayo